You may believe that your desire to possess a fast and exciting vehicle is doomed if your family needs you to have a family vehicle. But still, you don't want to live in your car after that promise you made to your wife about a nice bed, and instead you bought those Brembo alloys. But if that happens, plenty of fast family cars on the market fill both roles in style. Performance and handling are less important when children are involved than utility, safety, and cost effectiveness in a vehicle. For many individuals, this means putting up the keys to that sports car and spending money on a boring Toyota van, since thoughts of blasting down twisted B roads can be replaced by worries over kid seats and sippy cups. But don't worry about sitting in that ugly van. If you have a little more money to spend, then there's still a chance for you to look bold when you park your car in front of a Walmart. If you think that a compact SUV can't be a fast, fun car, then think again. I'm not talking about your regular Honda CR-V. I'm talking about the Porsche Macan GTS, which blends the practicality of a 5-door crossover with the agility and performance we've come to anticipate from the Porsche sports cars. This must be driven to be believed in. You can now happily drive your kids to school and not look like some guy who hates his life. The flagship Macan GTS gets a 434 horsepower twin-turbo V6 and variable valve timing and direct injection, which means there's plenty of power across the rev range. If you're a little low on cash and you gave half of it for child welfare, then instead of having a performance upgrade, the Cupra Formentor 310 debuted as the brand's first ever independent vehicle. It's also handsome to look at and more pretty than your kid crying in the back seat because you didn't stop for McDonald's. With aggressive styling that helps it stand out among the SUV crowd, there is sufficient functionality for a household and a wide range of engine choices, including the top of the line 306 horsepower 2-liter engine which performs well. I wish you the best of luck if your wife isn't satisfied with this one. If the SUV isn't enough because you're worried you don't want to look old, then not many models on the road carry the same weight of expectation as the BMW M3 Competition. There you go, something worth driving. Although it may not have the same personality as a normally aspirated V8 from a few generations back, the turbocharged 3-liter straight 6 engine has all the right grooves. You wouldn't want your wife yelling at you with that screaming V8 while you power slide on your driveway. Need something faster and quieter because you can't sneak out with the boys at night? The Porsche Taycan has an electric range of about 300 miles. Handles B-roads like a Porsche 911 and feels as upscale and comfy as a Porsche Panamera. It's also capable of rapid charging, which means it can theoretically be charged up to 80% in 20 minutes. You've got to love this. It just makes you go meh to wow in 2 seconds. If you ever want to feel alive in your boring family life, this is the one for you. If you're the tech type, then another simple and cute but deadly option for you is the Tesla Model 3 performance versions that comes with a dual motor 4-wheel drive setup which offers a staggering 449 horsepower, allowing it to accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. This car would make you want to curse as you accelerate it, but you can't because your kids will be in the back like, what are you doing? With 19.8 cubic feet of trunk space, you can always keep extra kids in the back. But you'd have to explain it to the police officer. I'm pretty sure he'll understand. Continuing with practicality, the Audi RS6 Avant is a car that has got the power and agility of a sports car, but with the practicality of a station wagon. They've always been admired for their style too, and the handsome Audi RS6 is a case in point. Its broad-chested, muscular demeanor looks polished and threatening all at once. The latest hot version of Audi's big A6 estate car may have a downsized V8, but as you'd expect, performance is undiminished. 0 to 60 arrives in a shocking quick 3.6 seconds. By the way, it'll be heavy on your wallet, so try not to whine about the price when you find out how much it costs. If you really have no other option but to have a little fun, and not scary fun because you'd end up in debt, then the Skoda Octavia WRX comes with a 197 horsepower 2-liter TDI engine under the bonnet. It's got plenty of mid-range torque and it can make you look cool, so don't worry. It has firmer suspension and some subtle styling updates to ensure that the VRS looks and handles like a performance car. The huge practical cabin makes it a genuinely usable family vehicle too. We all know Skodas can be a little boring and lifeless, but this one has a little hint of gin in it. If you didn't plan on having more than 2 kids because you're a good citizen, then the most famous hot hatch you can buy is better than ever in its latest guise. You would want to wear that seatbelt before throttling up the VW Golf R, because it won't just be your kids who need a diaper change. The 2-liter turbo has 360 horsepower and the Golf R takes all the standard Golf GTR attributes and magnifies them with almost a third more power and 4-wheel drive. You'd automatically be the favorite parent if you drive the Alpina D3 S. The Alpina D3 S is one of the world's fastest diesel-powered production cars, thanks to the twin-turbo 3-liter 6-cylinder engine developing 350 horsepower and 730 Nm of torque. Its headline figures read 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds and a top speed of 170 miles per hour. But drive it cautiously and you should be able to return up to 42 miles per gallon. This is an amazing car to go on a road trip with your family. If you've done your parenting right and your kids don't throw trash in your car, then the Mercedes AMG GLB 35 variant takes this recipe and adds a 2-liter 302 horsepower turbocharged engine, a 7-speed automatic gearbox, and 4-wheel drive. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds, which is fast for a 7-seater. You definitely win a race against the CR-V. Also other sports cars, but you have other things to worry about, like where to go before going home from work, because it's just lovely to drive. But is it as lovely to drive as the Jeep Gladiator? I'll leave that up to you. The Gladiator is everything you want in a Wrangler pickup truck. It's composed on the road and plenty capable when you decide to venture onto rougher terrain. You know how they are, rough and tough. It's also really long, which means plenty of space for your family and all their stuff. You can't remove its doors as you normally would, because it would probably be against the law to have your whole family hanging half outside while you drive. If you're a retired rally driver who wants to feel alive again, the Subaru WRX STI might be dead, but the standard WRX is still alive. It'll safely cart around your family of 4 or tear up a gravel rally stage thanks to a standard turbo boxer 4 and all-wheel drive. Revive your inner chem block and rev it all you can. If you're on a budget, the 315 horsepower Honda Civic Type R is a front-wheel drive riot. You might look a little hideous, but it's fun. Believe me, it punches way above its weight in performance, all while sacrificing none of the practicality of a regular Civic hatchback. And while you might think that the wing makes the car look childish, your kids will probably dig it. Dig it? Who says that? Life does get hard after having kids, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun. So punch the throttle and feel your car as it screams, because you can't. A fun car is a feeling only petrol heads would know, so don't give it up. You finally married the love of your life, so there's no way out. There's more to life than this, and these cars will show you what it is. Don't listen to your wife. Buy them.